to YakShaver Sprint 119 review and retro. So let's start with our sprint goals. We have three goals. The first one is Yak Smasher embed. This is partially done. And the second one is recording and AI flow updates. This is to add credit usage to YakShaver Annual, also to the desktop. This is done. And the third one is YakShaver Annual rename. So previously we call it YakShaver 360, and now we change it to YakShaver Annual, and we rename the title in both portal and desktop. And we will dig into details when we go to the related PBI. And the next sprint details, we have Tom, Stephen, Willow, Tino, and Callum joined in the meeting. And for internal hours, Stephen, Tom, Zeno has worked full-time, and Callum and Willow has worked for some time. And let's take a look at the backlog. We have done a lot during this sprint, but we will pick some to show the details. The first one is the leaderboard. Okay, I think the link doesn't work. So for the leaderboard, we have this PBI to add the 3 months and 9 months time frame. So we can take a look at the screenshot. We have added these two options, so we can now check the last 6 months and last 9 months for both users leaderboard and project leaderboard. And let's go back to Amada. Tom, do you want to give us some more details about the Amada PBIs that you have been working on?
Yeah, so there have been a whole bunch of Armada PBIs done in this sprint. I just smashed them all together. So the main highlight was we made it very easy to onboard new projects with Armada. There's a little script which the developer can call, and there's basically a guided tour on how to set it up. Eddie used it today, and he onboarded already Crystal Ball to it, so that should now show up in the next few hours. And yeah, we followed a new process for research and development, and have been done some experiments based on that, which I will follow up tomorrow with Luke to go through the details to make sure that everything is in the expected format.
Nice.
We can move on to the next one. This one is to upload videos about the .mov format. Steven, would you like to give us some details?
Yeah, sure. For our YakShaver Anywhere, there's a feature we can allow user to upload their pre-record video to YakShaver Anywhere and process the video. But the issue is there's a user using .mov video uploads but failed on processing. The issue is we designed a pipeline to first extract the audio information from a video, but we had an issue on this step. So we relied on the second step, which is sending the original video to Whisper model, but Whisper model doesn't support .mov file. That's why it's causing an error. After investigation, I fixed the issue that now YakShaver Anywhere will be able to successfully extract the audio file from the video and sending the audio to Whisper. Then now YakShaver Anywhere can process .mov file. Yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Is there any limit on how big the video can be and still work with the YakShaver Anywhere engine?
Yes, because we had an issue that on extracting audio, so the video limit was 25 megabytes. That's the Whisper limitation. But since I have fixed the pipeline, as long as the audio size is smaller than 25 megabytes, it's okay to process.
Right. So if someone sends in a video that's like 10 gigabytes, though, is that going to crash
I
the
think
engine or something?
potentially it's going to crash because the size is limited by the sandbox that we created.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Should we have some sort of maximum limit on that, or are we already checking it? Maybe we already check. I'm not sure.
I think we have already had a pre-check to limit the size, video size to be 500 megabytes and the length to be less than 10 minutes.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I will move on to the next one. These three are highlights for this sprint. Do you have any other PPIs that you want to have a look at or want us to have more details? If not, I will move on to the next part.
Where was the one that
Yeah.
Tom mentioned with the teams sending teams to YakShaver Anywhere, or is that one not done yet technically? So we're not mentioning it.
It could be here because we deployed just before start of the meeting, or we dragged it into the next sprint because we need to retest it on production. But it should be the second one in that list, the add YakShaver 360 process pipeline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Placeholder. Yeah, that was the most exciting one for me. So I think we should call that one out. You want to quickly tell us what you've done there?
Yep. So I think the placeholder was still not the logic part because I split it up into 2 bits, which was the placeholder part to create the feature flag so that we can in Teams change the workflow from the legacy one, which was the previous or the default Teams behavior when processing a YakShaver through Teams. And the new one is basically using the processing of YakShaver Anywhere. And that has been now done too. It's an opt-in since it still needs to go through testing and make sure we're all happy with the results. But if you type in help into the YakShaver Teams channel or help to the bot, it will show you the new command, which is called flow. And if you just type in flow, it will tell you which workflow you basically on, the legacy or the new one. And then you can switch by typing in flow legacy or flow new between each of them. So we just deployed the core logic for that today. And we still need to test and make sure that, we are happy with the generated PBIs on the new flow.
Nice.
We asked after this meeting to see if it works and how it works. So is there any other PBIs that needs to be discussed?
I think I'm happy with that. Carry on.
Okay, cool. Then I'll move on to the velocity. So for the current sprint, we have committed 47 points and we delivered 42 points. That's pretty good. It's about 89% of them. And then let's go to the R&D part. Tom, would you like to walk us through this part?
Yeah, as mentioned, as part of Armada, we had some R&D core activities, 3 at the moment, but 1 is marked as not planned, so I will skip that. But yeah, we have been basically running the experiments, documenting the failed attempts, the success attempts, and it's pretty much ready to double check that with Luke and yourself, Callum, most likely, just to make sure that this is containing all the data that we require for the research and development text deduction or benefit.
What happened with the not planned thing?
You need to open it. I'm not 100% sure. It has been a while. I think it was either a duplicate or based on the content, it couldn't fall under research and development.
Right. Should we delete it from the email then if it was like an accidental creation, or do you want to leave it there for posterity?
I think it's still good to keep it because we considered it and then decided to mark it as not planned. So it's just, I guess, for
Okay.
transparency and
Sure.
I think, Willow, if you right click and then select open link in your tab, it should work. And just scroll all the way down on this one. So there's basically all the information, and yeah, it folded into the broader R&D activity number 4. So it was basically kind of a duplicate.
Right. Okay.
So that's all for the R&D part. And for AI tool usage, I think Steven, Tom, I, and Zeno has no changes. And we have Tino this week, so he has been using Claude Fable 5 and Opus 4.8. That's we are all good for the usage. And for the AI stats, Steven, could you walk us through this section?
Yeah, sure. For AI Claude stats, I think Tiger's still processing the transcription. So we will put that later when we finish the email. And for the Claude stats, can you scroll down a little bit? Tom speaks for the most of time, and followed by Willow, Stephen, and Tino, and Callum. For the Spring Ghost, Copilot status was quite accurate because what we discussed in the meeting was about the MCP server JSON import and export toggle, and also fix the YakShaver 4.4 and also Armada onboarding improvements. And yeah, back to you, Below.
And let's move on to the project snapshot. So we committed 30 points and have this average velocity for 26. And then here's the sprint retro. Tino, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah. So what went well is Tom said that they improved Armada, so onboarding new project is easy and friendly. And from Willow, it's improved the MCP server settings. And what didn't go so well from Tom is authentication and project-specific dependencies remain difficult in the cloud. And also Armada logbook still needs work. Now the improvement is for Armada logbook on Windows virtual machine or local server to avoid Linux container GUI limitations. Yep. So that's basically it for retro. Giving it back to you, Willow.
So that's all for our review and retro.
That's not much stuff in the retro. Tino and Stephen, neither of you had anything that went well or not well. Was that right?
Just got it. I had no idea what to write in there. Haven't been in the team in a while.
For me, basically, I agree with Tom. We had improved Armada.
Okay. Yeah, maybe right. Tom / Stephen then, I guess.
Yeah.
So it looks like it wasn't a retro that Tom did by himself.
That's why I'm number 1 in talking in the Copilot stats.
Did Steven here?
The second one.
The second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been out of loop for a while now. I had to ask what Armada is, and I need to touch some SSW grass. Yeah.
All for the retro.
Do you have
Then
any
we-
other question, Callum, before we move on?
No, all good. Carry on.
Okay. Let's go to our sprint 120 planning. So for our sprint goals, the first goal is carried from our last sprint is to complete the YakSmasher embed. And the second goal is to improve YakShaver Anywhere user experience. This includes many UI and UX changes. And do you have any questions about these sprint goals, or maybe add some or change it to another one?
The second goal, improve the YakShaver Anywhere user experience, progress credit handling, recording controls, setup wizard UX. Another critical thing that we need to start thinking about in YakShaver Anywhere, I would probably fold this into goal number 2 rather than adding a third goal. But the critical thing we need to think about is systems other than GitHub, because I think currently it's only able to shave into GitHub backlogs. But it doesn't really have to be that way. It's only because that's how we've built it for the proof of concept. But basically, as long as there's a CLI, it should be easy enough to connect to whatever other tool. So I want to start, thinking about how we can connect up, non GitHub backlogs.
So
Apart
Like
from
Azure DevOps, Jira, whatever else.
Yeah, apart from Jira and DevOps, do you want us to start looking at others as well? Like, I don't know, Monday.com or no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
What else is
I think
there?
what would be cool is if we could have like a generic. Now, I'm not sure exactly how you do this, but some sort of generic thing where you can configure YakShaver Anywhere. You give it the I don't know. Maybe you need to give it the instruction to install the the CLI or something, and then you tick that tool and say make that tool available during this YakShaver Anywhere session for this project, or something like that. I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about it myself, but it would be cool if we could have some sort of generic solution, so we don't need to define all of the options. The user can just put whatever they want in there. Maybe it's not possible. If it's not possible, at least support all the big ones we can find, I guess.
Yeah, I think first we should start with the feature sort of parity, try to get Jira and DevOps back on there, since we pretty much support that on desktop as well as on Teams pretty much. And maybe based on the implementation, I guess the next Jira, or maybe we can find some generic open Open ID or as Open SSO kind of implementation. Because the problem will be as well that every platform might be slightly different, or some might have an MCP, some have a CLI, some of them, I don't know, you need to register an app.
Maybe we don't need to over-engineer it. We just have a button that says, let us know if you want to add another platform. And then if someone clicks that, then we'll add the platform for them.
Yeah.
So I've updated to this goal to integrate the YakShaver Anywhere with more platforms. Okay, so if we don't have more questions about the goals, I will move on to the next part. And for our team, Stephen, Tom will be 5 days, I'll be 3 days, and Tino is up to 5 days but may return to client work. And for our planning, so we have some PBIs carried over from this sprint. We will keep doing the UI updating for the portal and the YakShaver annual, and also keep working on the PBIs that's related to our sprint goals. Do you have any PBIs that you want us to give some more details?
What are the most important ones based on the sprint goals? I guess the one about adding more platforms won't be there because I just said it.
Yeah.
So I assume it doesn't exist yet.
I'll add it to this email before sending it.
Cool. And what was the other sprint goal again?
The other one is
Yak
to
Smasher.
complete the Yak
Oh, yeah.
Smasher.
So what's that? 3804. Where's that one? Oh, the second
Second one.
Second
Yeah.
one.
Anything
Also
to say
just
about that? What's still to do there?
If you click on the PBI, the research, yeah, there's a list of sub-issues. So yeah, scroll on, yeah. So currently the first one is merged, not merged. It's the PR has been created, still waiting for review, and there's a bunch of the following up PBIs to be able to achieve that. Any questions, Callum?
So what? So all the PBIs that are in the sub issues are still to do and will be done this sprint. Is that right?
It's possible if we don't have too many sub quests.
Okay. Should all the sub issues be in the sprint rather than the epic? Because it looks like we've just got the epic in the sprint, right?
No, for now we just have this parent one.
Yeah. So are all the children, estimated individually and added to the sprint individually? And if not, should they be?
Yeah, we can drag the children into the sprint. Currently, we only include the epic.
Mm.
Yeah, we will drag them, and yeah, I'll update it before sending the
we
email
can
too.
update after the meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Also, just FYI, we marked a whole bunch of PBIs for Armada. I did reduce Armada a little bit. It runs now every 60 minutes and only processes one PBI like instead of 3 like before, just to keep the token limit at bay for the moment. But there will be also a whole bunch of PRs created in the backlog that we will review and drag then into the sprint once we review them.
Cool. And are you monitoring the usage?
We do look at it manually by just using the subscription and writing kind of like a status command and seeing how far it has been used up, especially since we now added more projects to it. But we probably should work out like maybe a central dashboard or something that helps us with it, because it will be easily kind of forgotten to do it manually, because at the moment it's still a manual step.
Yep. As long as someone's manually looking at it for now, and we're not, going to break Tiger. But yes, definitely, if we can automate it to make it everyone's life easier, that would be a good idea. And we could probably do stuff like scale it up if the weekly weekly reset is coming up soon and we still have heaps of tokens, then maybe we could, scale it up to use more tokens in the remaining time or something like that as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Carry on.
So that's all for the sprint backlog for the planning. And I think then there's AI stats. Steven, could you walk us through this part?
Yeah, sure. Again, the cloud code stats still in progress, so we will leave that after the meeting. And for the Copilot stats, it's pretty much accurate. The first goal was to improve the YakShaver Anywhere experience, except we just discussed more details into how do we add the other platform into the integration. And the second goal is to completing the YakSmasher. So it's pretty accurate. Actually,
That's all. That's all for our sprint planning. And as usual, we will upload our video to the YakShaver YouTube channel. And thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
See you.
Yeah.